Well, I hope you are doing well, having a great day, and in good health, feeling fine. The news has come down that Meghan Markle and Harry have been evicted from Frogmore Cottage. That was the cottage gifted to them by the Queen at their wedding. They had a lease on the cottage. They fixed it up for about $2 to $3 million, and it was initially paid for by the people of England, but then they repaid it out of their personal earnings, and they had renewed the lease. And it's reported they still have some years left on the lease, but that has been dissolved, and they are now on notice that they have been evicted and have to get out. I think their ending date is shortly after the coronation of Charles. They are going to give the lease, they are going to give a new lease to Frogmore to Andrew. Now, Andrew was the pedo who was convicted with Jeffrey Epstein of recruiting young girls for sexual acts, taking them to islands and so forth. And Andrew paid millions because one person had pictures of him with her when she was a youth. So now Andrew will have Frogmore. He doesn't want to be in Frogmore. He wants to stay in the main big mansion that has a whole lot of rooms. Now Andrew's all by himself. He left his wife a long time ago, and he's basically in there with his teddy bears and stuff. So he only needs like 1 or 2 bedrooms. He doesn't need a mansion. And Frogmore is still a mansion, and he doesn't even need that. I think Frogmore has 5 bedrooms and a yoga studio for Meghan and some other rooms, which he doesn't need. But they're going to put him there, and he will then be very close to William, Kate, and the children. Well, that's a strange place to put a pedo, if you ask me, but that is how the English see it, and that's what they want. So Uncle Andrew will be close by to have access to the young children of the family. So there's a new leader. People think that it is Camilla, but they're so wrong. The new leader, in my mind, is, well, people think it's Charles, but I think the new leader is Camilla. Camilla is taking charge, and I think Camilla has a whole lot to do with the decision to separate Charles and Harry, get rid of Harry once and for all. He's always crying about his mother and doing things to honor her. Camilla doesn't want to hear that nonsense. Camilla wants to be the one who's celebrated and honored. She wants to get rid of anybody, I believe, who is celebrating Diana still. Diana is gone, and Camilla wants anyone who's still celebrating her to be gone, in my mind. So she, I believe, has helped Charles reach this decision to get rid of Harry and Meghan. They will not have any house in England, and so they will not be able to get the security and so forth that they need if they travel to the country, and that will be a great discouragement for them to come. And it will help get him away from all of his activities that have kept him tied to the country. So they're getting rid of Harry, they're getting rid of Meghan, and I'm sure Camilla is jumping with joy. Right now, I believe Camilla is still COVID positive. So where's that coming from? Well, Camilla has always supposedly felt herself to be royalty because her great grandmother was Boinking the King, and they are believed to have had children, and Camilla believes that she is a product of that sexual relationship. So Camilla feels that she is part royal. Now, because Camilla feels part royal, she feels superior, of course, to Meghan, who has no royal blood, and she even feels superior to Kate because Kate has no royal blood. So Camilla wants to establish herself as the head. She has said she does not want the title given to her by the Queen. She does not want to be called Queen Consort. She wants to be called a full Queen. That title will enable her to stay in Buckingham Palace or thereabouts for the rest of her life, just like the Queen Mother did in the past, and she will always be there to interfere with whoever is king and whoever is around the royals. Well, with Harry out of the way, Camilla will only have one person who will be spouting off about Diana and praising her, and that will be William. And I predict that she will, after Harry is gone and mostly forgotten in England and made to be a negative, she will go after William and Kate, because Camilla's, I believe, her main goal is to bring in her children and to bring in her own line of royalty. If she can get rid of Harry, if she can get rid of William, Kate, and her brood, then she can bring in her own children, her own grandchildren. And it should be noticed that at the coronation, Camilla has already decided she is going to have all of her grandchildren on the balcony. Now that's a big deal. They've fought forever about whether Harry and Meghan could come onto the balcony, but Camilla has decided that her grandchildren will be on the balcony. They have no titles, but that Camilla is changing that. She is moving her children into positions where they can get titles, and I believe after the coronation that Camilla will be giving all of her children titles so that they can move up and become recognized as full royals. Now, sometime or another, Camilla's probably going to have to admit that all of her children are from Charles and none of her children are from that man that she was married to, who was basically a royal guard. And he was given that position, I believe, because he said he would marry Camilla to be her beard so that she could be close to Charles and she could be sneaking around his bedroom forever and having these royal children with him. So I predict that very soon in the future, after Camilla is promoted to full queen, that she will start working on bringing up her royal line of children, and that eventually she will work to replace William as king, so that William will not be king, but her children will move on to be king and queen, because they are older than William. They were born before William, and so they would be the firstborns. Kate and her children will be moved back in the line of succession, and we'll have to see how that turns out. This is how I predicted it would be, and we'll just have to see, am I right or am I wrong? Now, they of course want to take titles and any sign of royalty away from Harry and Meghan's children. They also want to demote them as far as their titles and make it so that they're even less likely to have any kind of say as to who can move up in the royal ladder and who can become future kings. Meghan and Harry have made a lot of mistakes, and they really are not very good in the media. Meghan with her archetypes, Spotify broadcast was very surprising in some of the things she said, and I was very surprised when Meghan let Ellen DeGeneres humiliate her on television. Ellen has done that with Michelle Obama in the past, and I was very, very upset with how Michelle Obama allowed Ellen DeGeneres to humiliate her. She has also said a lot of things which, of course, were wrong or embarrassing, such as when she imitated her bow to the Queen, which was fake, and when she said she didn't know you have to curtsy to the Queen, and I don't know if she has ever curtsied to Kate, who is her superior. Well, Harry, who has been in the media against his will for a long, long time, has just had an interview on a late night show, and he was asked a number of questions. And Harry has to stop going on these shows because he is not prepared to answer the questions, even though he's been in the royal family for quite a long time, his whole life. And even so, they are always able to trick him. Now, one of the questions they asked him, and they stuck it right in the middle of a bunch of very benign questions, like, what's your favorite sandwich? And he said ham and cheese with Dijon mustard and so forth. They asked him, what happens to people when you die? Harry stated, they become animals. The host said, animals? And Harry said, yes, and I want to become an elephant. Well, that was shocking because the royal families are supposed to represent the church. That's why you always see them going to church. They're going to church for everything, and they spend a lot of time in church. And to think that one of the leaders of the Episcopal Church would say that people become animals, and he didn't say anything about God or Mary or heaven or anything like that, was very shocking. And the English are meat eaters, so they kill and eat a lot of animals. So the fact that they would be killing and eating people, animals with souls of people, is very, very shocking for a royal to do. So it was just another example of how the media plays this couple. They play Michelle Obama, but she is able to avoid many things, but even she gets captured in some of the tricks that the media reporters play on these private people who became very public and really are not up to par with keeping track of all of the tricks that get played on them, and it's very demeaning to them. So Michelle Obama, I would wish that she stayed away from a lot of these late night hosts and other people who are plotting. They're actually plotting questions to humiliate and embarrass the featured guests, like Meghan if she were on these shows, my gosh, I can imagine they would catch her in a lot of things. Harry, he gets caught often, and I think his statement about people becoming animals is something that a lot of people believe, and I believe certain religions believe that. But for him to represent the Episcopal Church was very, very shocking. And Michelle Obama, I remember the time when Ellen DeGeneres was out shopping with Michelle Obama, and Ellen DeGeneres was throwing all kinds of things into Michelle Obama's cart, and they were laughing and they were playing as if Michelle Obama was stealing stuff from the store. And that was just very disgusting for me to have to watch. So, guys, please be careful. As far as Camilla, her plans, what's going to happen in the future, we'll just have to see. And I believe Camilla is going to be the new leader in the royal family. It was reported that Camilla said if Charles did not do what she said, that she was going to expose him, and she demanded $400 million to be quiet. So she was blackmailing Charles. I read that in a couple of articles. I don't know if it's true, but they claim that Harry is blackmailing Charles, but it seems that Camilla is also blackmailing Charles, and it also seems that William may not realize how risky his position is, and that he may need a brother in order to just protect him. We've seen what happened to Diana, and it always helps to have somebody watching your back to make sure that you're safe. So, what do you think? Like and subscribe. Bye.